So I flew to LA last weekend to shop around some of the most famous interior design stores. I met up with two of my now best friends, Evelyn and Jenna, who are also here on YouTube. I will leave their channels down below, of course, but we shopped around for our dream home decor at some of our favorite shops we've always dreamt about going to. We went to all of Atelier and shopped their in-person drop full of aged vintage items for really reasonable prices. We went to Berber Imports, which had massive amounts of artifacts and antiques that were just beautiful. We also stopped in at a few other home stores around town and truly had the best time getting inspired and just being together. So I'm going to take you through each store and explain how everything works, point out different pieces that catch my eye and how I would style it in my home. So let's get into it. So after Ev picked me and Jenna up from the airport, we went straight to Berber Imports. Okay, actually we went and got some food first because we were all starving, and then we started our shopping journey shortly after. So the first thing that we saw were these huge vessels, and I mean these were so big, like the size of our car. I've never seen anything like that before, and we were all just in shock. I didn't even know a vase this big existed, to be honest. If you're not familiar with Berber Imports, it's a large antique store in Los Angeles. They sell furniture, accessories, and decor from 23 different countries. They had so much here, from trees to vessels to stone sinks to different reclaimed wood pieces. This place had 2 different floors and a whole outdoor section too. So when you first walk into the warehouse, it's so beautifully set up. It almost looks like a showroom, and it seems like they have their most popular pieces in this area. I just love the character that all of these pieces from all of these stores, each piece of decor tells its own story and will look different in whatever environment you put it in, and that is just the beauty of it. Us girls were all talking, and we were saying how we love mixing old decor with new in our homes. We all have different styles, but that's what's so great about shopping for decor like this, because it's so versatile and can really go with any style in any home, and it just adds a little extra charm. It's great too because these pieces don't have to be tied to a certain season. You can use them year round and accentuate those pieces to go with a certain time of year. I plan on using all these pieces I picked up from this trip into my fall decorating this year, but they can easily be switched around and used year round too. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. How much is it?
How much? $4,500.
Oh yeah, let's split it. So upstairs was all the back stock of everything that was downstairs, plus so much more. I will say this place was pretty expensive, especially compared to all of Atelier prices, but they did have a bigger selection with better quantities of each item. You almost have to know what you're looking for when you're upstairs because there's a lot of things, and some you may have to rummage through a little bit to find exactly what you're looking for. So many rustic aged vases here of all different shapes, sizes, textures, and more. I regret not picking one up here because they truly had the biggest and best selection here. These is so versatile. You can use this as a pot for a plant, or you can just use it by itself. I love how rustic vases like these can really tend to make a statement in your decorating. were all on the hunt for a cutting board, breadboard, and they had so many here. These are truly aids, so they're not something that you can use, but definitely so cute to decorate with, just to fill up your kitchen countertops a little bit and to give it a little bit more dimension and charm. I love incorporating warm tones for fall, so I'm sticking to the brown beigey color palette this year for autumn decorating. I feel like most of this age selection just feels so warm and cozy and would be great to decorate with during the fall months. I love this little stool. It can be so versatile. You can use it as a plant stand or a side table. So many different styling options with a piece like that. After we were finished looking in the inside of the warehouse, we went outside, and the outside led all the way around the entire warehouse, and this basically consisted of mostly bigger, heavier items. Like you can see, there's a ton of these stone sinks, there's a whole bunch of different tabletops and pedestals and huge pots, and a lot of the bigger items were outside. After we were done at Berber, we drove down to Long Beach where we were staying. We were all so exhausted from traveling and shopping, so we just DoorDashed some local food and ate it in our hotel room. We had an early night because the next morning we had to be up early to be one of the first in line for the drop at Atelier. We got to Atelier about 50 minutes before the doors open. There were already about 20 people in line before us waiting already, but luckily there was a local croissant and coffee place that did a little pop-up, so we got to munch on those and get some energy before the doors opened. So when you get there, you can grab a handful of hold tags. They also give you a pen and some tape, and you can stick it on any item that you want. And if the item you want is already taken and someone already claimed it before you, don't worry, because you can still be number 2 in line if that person ultimately decides against it. You just write your name in number 2 beside it, and that just kind of means that you're the runner-up. I actually did this for a few pieces, and I ended up getting both of them. So don't be discouraged if the item you want already has a hold tag on it. Still go for it anyways. Atelier is very similar to Berber Imports. It sells antique decor and furniture that are sourced from other countries. The biggest difference between these stores are Atelier isn't open on a regular basis. They have an in-person and online drop a few times a month, and that's pretty much your only opportunity to purchase these pieces. They are very active on their Instagram about what new pieces they bring in and what you can expect to see during the next drop. We, of course, were in the in-person drop, but if you're not near the LA area, then you can always shop the online drop. You just have to be on your toes and shop the drop right away because things do sell out very quickly. All 3 of us pretty much knew what we were looking for at Olive, so we made sure to rush over to those items first. I was on the hunt for a skinny reclaimed wood bench, and by the time I got in, most of them were already claimed, but I did end up holding one and then a second one that I was number 2 in line for. So everything was moving pretty fast at first, and I'll be honest, it was a little bit overwhelming, but after about 10 minutes, it had calmed down a little bit, and we could actually focus on looking through everything and all the details. And the whole warehouse was set up like a showroom, and it was filled with different sections of furniture and decor, but it all still flowed together really nicely. It was beautiful. After we were done shopping in the store, we checked out and loaded the car up. We quickly rushed over to the other side of LA to visit Soho Home Store. One of our favorite YouTubers, Drew from Lone Fox, had his first in-person vintage drop. So we have all been watching him for years and get so inspired by him, so we knew we had to go support him. He truly was the most genuine guy, and we had such a great conversation. He was so easy to talk to. He had the most beautiful vintage decor displayed, and it was truly such a pleasure meeting him. Definitely a surreal moment. Honestly, this whole trip was surreal. I will never forget it. After Soho Home Store, we went to a juice bar called Joe and the Juice and got some drinks to cool off a bit. It was so hot. And then we walked across the street to Earth Cafe and got some lunch, which was so yummy. Highly recommend this place if you're in the LA area. I got coffee here another day too, and it was also so delicious. After lunch, we stopped into Restoration Hardware, and this place was so beautiful. It's funny because this was kind of the opposite of the stores that we had been to. So all of the stores that we had been to are very kind of rustic and aged, and the decor was the complete opposite of what was in Restoration Hardware. This was very high end, but it was so fun to just experience this. I've never been inside of one of these stores before. Every furniture piece, every pillar, every aspect of decor was just beautiful. And the chandeliers, the archways, it was truly a dream, and it was just so fun to see. Honestly, I think if Restoration Hardware just mixed them all of Atelier in with their style, it'd just be perfect. So then we headed off to the UPS store so me and Jenna could ship our items back to our home states. And oh my gosh, I actually cried when I heard the total of what that bench was shipping, but it was so worth it. So worth it. I cannot wait to show you guys everything that I picked up, and that will be in the next video so I can really go in depth and show you everything that I got and also how I style it in my home. But I hope you had the best time on our little girls trip to LA with us, shopping around these different stores that we've always been dreaming about going to. This was truly such a fun trip, and I just had the best time with these girls. I'm so grateful that you two brought us together, and I hope this video gave you a little bit of inspiration for the next time you want to shop those antique pieces. Okay, that is it. Subscribe if you're new here. We'll see you in a few days on a new one. Bye!